advancing also to the playoffs. Peden in the first place, as we saw before. In the Group F, we saw the result just happening.
So it's multi-core and rewind.
Yeah. And in Group E, we see basically the same picture with Ice-T winning once more against Leo Lockhead. In the Group D, we still have a match going on, which is Lorion playing against Diamond. As Thrillhouse actually won against Lorion. Did we see that before? I don't think so. I think this was still open. But as we saw, a close result here. This is something where the games could go the other way around. If you have a 3-2, then it's always who gets which deck into which deck. If you have your favorable matchups, you can play your favorable matchups most of the time. Then you can easily turn a 3-2 to a 2-3 the other way. In Group C, Nico actually won against Harlequin. So we said that it's possible. It is possible that Harlequin loses there, even though we would say he is the favorite. And Nico proved that he is able to win that one. So there we see the rematch between Harlequin and FerbIII. And in Group B, we see that Aiduno also won his match this time, and therefore will be the second player to advance from Group B.
Omidos is kicked out.
Yeah. And Shark just had the same result as his first match against Downey Road, winning with a 3-1 and therefore also advancing to the next round. So that means we are only waiting for FerbIII versus Harlequin and Lorion versus Diamond to start with the next round, which will be the playoffs. And we will be left with 14 players.
Yep.
That will then play for the prize pool of 45 euros for the first player. 20 euros in BattleNet balance and 25 euros in cash money, and 20 euro BattleNet balance for the second player, finishing second. Also, both players still get a seat into our finals that will be played later down, probably not this year, but probably next year, as we have a little bit of a scheduling problem in December, as there were problems with the location of the Dorfkrug. So just follow us on all the social media to get the information when that will happen. So far we have Solid, Rewind, Harlequin, Centro, Peden, and Diesel and Blazer qualified for the finals.
Yep, that's true.
2 more seats will be given away today to the finals. Then, as Harlequin reached the finals twice, 1 seat is still open from that. And then there will be four seats given away in the qualifier before the finals. So even if you're not in the group of players that are qualifying through reaching a finals in one of the Dorfkrug Cup 4 series events, you still have a chance to qualify at the day of the finals. Also, It is nice to check out the finals because there's a lot of good players around then, and they will hopefully show a lot more good Hearthstone, and then most likely already with a new expansion.
Yeah, hopefully.
So, okay, we actually do have a next match. I just heard from our
I'm just gonna switch fast.
We have a fast switch there, and I hope it's not going to be too loud with the headsets changing for you guys. And then Yoda will definitely inform us about the next match we will be casting here on stream. Hello, Yoda.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be on air. I was going down to sleep over there, but now
I saw that.
It's kind of cool that the window there is open. You're sitting here it's kind of warm.
Yeah.
2 meters there, it's fucking cold.
Yeah, but the thing is, we have a lot of light on us, so
yeah.
I mean, they're not that warm.
No,
not
it's
warm,
just
but still, we are and we are more away from the windows. So and of course, now that you're here in front of the camera, shout out to the chat who had a lovely discussion with you at least something is happening in our chat that way.
Yeah, right now they're posting. I don't. Are those Doritos or something? I don't know. Actually, yes, we are doing the stream in English because we think that English is just a language that we can interact with more people with. That's basically the reason. Everybody who is on this stream, I think, understands German and English. So why not just do it in English so we can maybe get those 3 more people who are interested in this. Also, we have some international tournaments like our Star Cup and other stuff. That's why we are switching to English, most likely permanently.
Something in the future happening as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you will talk about that or if we want to talk about it.
Maybe later.
Yeah, let's say something is happening in the next year, which will have hopefully a lot of international viewers tuning in. So, yeah.
And there's the Whisperers, so you know who's next up. Our next matchup is Harlequin against FerbIII.
Yeah. We actually do not have that on the screen. We are still seen in this lovely camera. Yeah, webcam.
Yeah, just that we see it.
Yeah.
Because you asked.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully, let's see. Did I write the names correct? Yeah, Harlequin is on the left, right? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, you did it right.
Good one.
Okay.
We need to turn the left number because it's upside down. In the left 0. But I will do just in a second. So, actually, we got the bands. We got the decks. We're ready to go. I think. Do we have FerbIII in our friend list?
I have to check that. That's a good point. No, I do not have him.
Then let's change that.
Yeah. Okay, so a little bit of typing from our side now to provide you with in-game content afterwards.
Are you enjoying the tournament so far?
Yes, actually quite a bit.
Oh, there he is.
I have to say, as you know, as we both come from the StarCraft background and are huge StarCraft fans, I'm really looking forward to the Star Cup, which we will be casting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we have a new patch changing a lot of the meta. And already in the StarCraft subreddit, there's memes of carriers everywhere. And I mean...
Seen some of these?
Carriers, you know, that's something
ancient unit that nobody used in like 20 years.
So I'm really excited for tomorrow.
Hopefully we're going to see some. Last tournament was really just rushes, but I think the patch will switch some of that.
Yeah, and we have to say last tournament was still, I felt there was a huge skill gap between some of the players. And for example, the first match, one of our players played as if he was really nervous, which of course can happen if I don't know if it was streamed before, so if you're streamed, that for some people that is really, really weird. So that might have been the reason for it. And we will be going into the match right now, and now it is working.
Yeah, it's doing good.
So FerbIII versus Harlequin, the second time today.
The first one we didn't cast, right?
The first one you didn't cast, no.
Okay, how was what was the result of the first one?
3-0 for Harlequin.
That was what I would expect.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be reading this is the name of his deck lists.
Yeah, and actually it is a Astral Communion Druid with Lord Malkizar, that's the name. So quite the unusual choice of a deck, as Maligos Druid is basically running the show at the moment for all the druids. And we see a nice start with a lot of Raven Idols and also a lot of ramp in both hands. These hands are really, really similar, with both having 2 wild growths and 1 nourish. The main difference is being 1 innervate and 1 Sylvanas. And the question is, will we have a huge turn with Astral Communion? Is he going to draw that, or will we just go into the late game? And if we just go into the late game, the question is, will FerbIII get these huge minions out before Harlequin can get any board presence? Because Druid is one of the weaker classes in dealing with huge minions, as they have nothing like a polymorph, a fireball. No. They have a mulch, which is not ideal. They have Naturalized, which basically nobody is running because you don't want to give your opponent 2 cards. And yeah, that's going to be the interesting points of this matchup, I would say.
Okay, let's see. Go. And in the beginning, I think we're going to see just some ramping, right? We have two or 3 wild groves. Okay, there's still... I think I know where the problem is.
And Harlequin is actually ramping in his second turn, ramping up to 4 mana, which means in his third turn he can either refill his hand with Nourish, or he can go up to 7 mana, which would be a little bit weird, having only 2 cards in hand.
Yeah, but he could have done it, I think, because there's another Nourish.
Yeah,
would have drawn it too little.
but you don't know that, of course.
Obviously. But also nice to have another Nourish. Yeah. And of course the Blood Mage. He also has already Thandrel and a Living Roots. It's always nice to have a combo with that.
And we have a covered card here, so we might be able to see what it is on our second screen.
That's
it is the Ancient of War. So this card that you guys can't see on stream is an Ancient of War.
Yeah. Soundbug is really interesting. Test!
No, I think it is... For me, it sounds like something from Skype, from our location screen.
Then yeah, you have Skype open. Then just mute Skype.
We can do that.
You need to go into the options, I think.
Okay. Sorry for that.
Obviously.
So,
yeah.
a little bit of solo casting from.
Yeah. So we see the Sylvanas out there. Obviously, one of the great cards to deal with big minions. By the way, it's audio.
Is it
and just pick something that is not line as output. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Now the sound goes somewhere numb.
Sorry about that.
No problem. But now the fuck up is gone, and we have some game sound for you. Sorry that the first games were muted. Okay, so already a great combo with the Thandrel, this card. Then what was it? What did he play? Raven Idol?
No, he just draw cards from Nourish.
Yep, I think the picking. I mean, that was here, the Raven Idol.
Okay, yeah.
And he did draw Living Roots, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So he has 2 Living Roots, he has 2 Rafts, he has a Ferrarage, a lot of great cards for it. But obviously, there's the Sylvanas on the board. Would you leave the Sylvanas just there and go face or do something, or what do you do with it?
The problem is, how do you clear it? Yeah, okay, that's one of the better ways, because otherwise you don't want to give your opponent a Thandrel.
Obviously.
That is a really stupid idea. So
we just leave with 4 armor, 2 extra cards he got from Thandrel.
And now we will see the Ancient of War, but I think that will just be countered by Yasharash. Okay, so guys, here's an Ancient of War on the board. You can't see it, but it is actually there.
Thank you, Blizzard, for this bug.
Yeah.
At some day, we're going to connect several computers to the stream just to switch in case of bugs.
You can see it also here. This is the Ancient of War, which is lying on the board.
Yeah. And as you said, there's the Yasharash.
And that's an Arcane Giant, which is not that bad. The Chilmer, which was just drawn, is, I think, from the Lord Malkazar. Probably not the card you are looking for from the Malkazar.
No, but well, we're gonna see.
And also, by the way, okay, I think we should restart this because he just attacked and the damage didn't show. So I'll just leave really short and
we're gonna cast this from here. An Azure Drake was played, and now he is using Wrath against the Ancient. Another Wrath, so he has 2 Wraths with an Azure Drake. So of course 1 Ancient is down. He still has the 5/10, which gets cleared obviously by this name. Yajuraj. And the Arcane Giant hit face, so we are on 22 hit points for FerbIII and a full board for Harlequin. So it's not looking that bad for Harlequin. As you said, it's really hard for Drew to deal with big minions.
Yeah, and now there's also Maligos on the board, and we see that there's already 3 burst cards, so that's 15 damage just off. Okay, nice try, nice try. If that would have hit, it would have been hilarious.
Yeah, but it didn't. And so he has no possibility. Is he dead? Yeah, I think, right?
Yeah, he is that. I mean, there's a Maligos on the board and you have 3 cards in hand. That means that it's 15 damage plus whatever the cards do end up with damage, because Maligos alone does 15 damage with them.
And there are another 10 damage, 8 damage, another Living Roots.
Okay, so this game is over. One of the most entertaining ones we had so far, as it was rather off meta and yeah, a nice fresh of air in Hearthstone, I would say.
Yep. That's cool. I had another bug on my display, by the way, so Hearthstone is really...
It's just Druids. Druids cause a lot of problems with their effects.
Yeah, also with the meta, I think. So this is the first win for Harlequin, which is our left player on the stream, right?
Yeah, and that is should still be correct.
Yeah, but I'm gonna switch that. And we're just gonna, for you guys, while this is running, we're gonna turn this number upside down again, so it's not the wrong way. There's a nice 0 here. Shout out to the crew of Open Broadcaster. It's an awesome tool with some fails, but only some flaws. And we're back in. Yeah. And now we're gonna see the Warrior of Harlequin versus the Priest of FerbIII. What kind of priest is this?
It is a Shadow Form priest.
Yeah, and just checking with a Yoxaron, an Arcane Giant, a Medivh...
Yeah, and we have a control versus control matchup here.
So we're gonna see something longer, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
These hands, a 10 mana card, a 12 mana card. Yeah, it's gonna be a longer match.
And the nice thing about having a longer match here is that we can see a lot of the decisions the players will make. And one thing that is really important here, or interesting here, is I don't think FerbIII has an answer to N'Zoth. If the late game N'Zoth comes down... Okay, he just got a brawl, so now he has an answer to a late game N'Zoth. But before that he did not have an answer, so his only answer was to try and pray for a good Yoxaron.
That's why he's a priest. Yeah. And he prayed good. So now he has his brawl. But yeah, okay, of course we're going to get to this 10 mana card, 10 mana turn. So
yeah.
But we're just going to see that in the late game. Are we going to see anything in the early game that will be a game changer in your mind? Are we going to see something that right now that could already turn the fate for one of the players? Or are we just going to turn down like 10 rounds and then we're going to see some big clashes of cards?
One thing that I find interesting is that I don't think that this priest deck runs a lot of healing besides his 0 ability. And his 0 ability will probably be turned into Shadow Form at one point.
He has a Holy Nova, which of course will also be turned.
And then 2 Holy Fires. So there's still two Holy Fires that are being able to use. So he has basically 12 points of healing besides his 0 ability. So the question is, how much pressure is the Warrior able to do? Because I think in the late game the Warrior is ahead, because with N'Zoth, his better hero ability and so on, he is able to scale better into fatigue. On the other hand, FerbIII, as the priest, has more ways of generating cards with something like Thoughtseize. Instead of drawing 2 cards out of your deck, you generate 2 cards basically. And the difference here is that your deck keeps the same size.
And there's the Shadow Form. So the first form of healing is gone. By the way, please turn the OBS back to the display.
I'll do that.
That's nice, thank you. And Tomb is also a nice way to deal with N'Zoth, right?
Yeah, of course.
Also, already has 2 ways to deal with it.
But the thing is, Entomb just puts... you can decide to either put important cards of the Warrior into your own deck, or you can Entomb the N'Zoth. But if you Entomb the N'Zoth, you still would have to deal with the entire board, and that is where the brawl comes handy.
That's obviously, right. You're correct with that.
And I think that is a really good pickup for FerbIII, actually, because now he is able to clear... would be able to clear the board. He decides to use the Emperor here quite early.
Yeah, he has a full hand. But of course, this Emperor is going to be snagged really fast, really quick.
Yeah, and
at first, let's see what Barnes can give us. What does does he play it? What has Harlequin in his hand? What would be your favorite card right now?
Sylvanas is always good.
Okay,
you
yeah.
always want to get a Sylvanas.
But he does. Okay, he bashes. He decides to leave his board intact and just go face with everything. So he prefers some pressure.
Yeah.
Which is obvious, of course, a great thing. Maybe because if he gets a Sylvanas right now, she would just do nothing. She would be cleared directly.
Yeah. And this is an interesting entomb because it means that if you entomb, you have 2 entombs at max, so you can deny 2 death rattle minions from your opponent. And denying this one means that either Cairn or Sylvanas will get through. And Cairn, while not being the biggest pressure minion, is really hard to deal for a priest because it's 4 health. You can't Shadow Ward Pain it. You cannot Shadow Ward Death it. So that's rather dangerous.
That's cool.
But this is nice.
Just mind visioned the Barons into his hand.
And now reducing his cards once more, which is a Brawl for 3. I would use that card all the time if it would cost 3.
What are you gonna do?
We see the Slam for Slam 4/4 is of course really nice.
And the Barons? Are we gonna see the Barons? No. We're gonna...
Another Twilight Summoner.
Maybe he's just thinking for some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, the Twilight Summoner is... yeah. No. And Barons.
Okay. And
Get on.
I'm not sure if that's the outcome you wanted.
Maybe not.
Because that is really bad for your board.
You're getting 1 card of it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, this attack is nice, because with this attack you save your Moonkin, and you get next draw. Okay, but he prefers the weapon, so he is expecting some kind of clear for his board the next turn, probably. And we know that there's an answer from FerbIII already. Oh, and of course, he just drew Priest of the Feast. I forgot about Priest of the Feast. That is also a card that can heal you afterwards.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Final cake! Oh man, I hate this guy. Could we just turn down the sound for this one?
I think the most annoying thing about it is that it takes so freaking long to throw his piece of beef or whatever it is, that if your opponent has it lying there and plays 3 cards and you're sitting, yeah, come on, get your 9 health. It's okay, it's okay. Just let me do my turn now.
Okay, how do you deal with these Arcane Golem and the Mr. Funnel Cake?
That's a good question.
Right now?
You do not have an answer at the moment.
Not really.
You could just... Jessica is a bad decision because it gets cleared by the priest.
Taunt is always a nice start, but...
Yeah, but if you want to taunt here, you have to decide what do you want to play next. Because if you just shield block to try and draw something better, then you should play that first.
Grommash. Okay, so he's gonna clean that guy, and now he has a 10 damage minion on board, but of course...
That will be clear.
We have a Shadow Word Death for 2 in his hand. But first he plays Barnes. I think he's going for...
that's really, really nice for him.
Yeah, it's nice.
3 more health and... yeah, so we see that my first concern of not having enough heal is prevented here quite nicely with the Priest of the Feast healing up quite a bit. And the Arcane Giant is still lying around, and yeah, the situation did not get a lot better for Harlequin at this...
No, not really.
This point.
He has a 1 damage minion that needs to be cleared, obviously.
Yeah.
But he has nothing to deal with this 8/8 right now. He can only go to defense, revenge. Okay, 1 damage. It's not the coolest use case for this skill. Now, okay, he's clearing this one with his face.
And hoping for the Justica to not be cleared.
Yeah, but we have another Shadow Word Death on hand. So I think...
But I think there's some merit to saving the Shadow Word Death. It depends on how much you want to push damage. because there's still other big minions.
He has seen that Harlequin has obviously no way to deal with one Arcane Giant in right now, and he has another one in the sand. So I think.
But you could decide to use, for example, Excavated Evil. Of course, you are setting your giant to 4 health as well, but you can still push 8 damage, use your hero ability, and play the next giant because it gets reduced by 1 mana, and then you have still big minions out. And okay, he decides for the Shadow of Death.
Another golem, 8 damage into face. Now he has 16 damage on board. And if Harlequin does not get any great cards right now, he's in trouble, because I think he did not lose any great Death Rattle cards, right? So Nzoth is basically useless right now.
He has 1 Taunt, and I think that's it.
Yeah,
one of the
so
infested Torrents.
It's not really a great choice to play him now.
Yeah.
So he only can shield up, draw a card, or...
But I think he still has a lot of removal spells left.
Yeah.
I think he has not... Has he used an Execute?
in this match, I don't think so.
Yeah, so he should have a lot of it left.
Yeah, but he does not have much time right now.
That's
2 more
true.
turns of this and he's dead. And so he can prevent, of course, some damage with the taunt. That's not the worst thing. But
and
at
here
first,
once again, first use your hero ability and then the Ironforge portal, because there's a chance of getting the Inspire minion, which deals 4 damage on Inspire, and that hurts if you're trying to survive.
but what is he gonna do? He doesn't know either, I think. It's a really tough place to be. And he's going for the portal. And uses hero ability.
Yeah.
4/4, but a battle cry. Not the greatest minion.
Yeah.
Does not bring much right now in this situation. There are situations where this is totally fine.
And the bash is a really good one here, because it clears the board. These mind visions were really, really
Bash.
great for him.
Yeah, hero ability. And another 16 damage into face. And Harlequin is in a really tough place.
Yeah.
Execute.
And
That's-
there's the first
that-
Execute.
That does better the situation a bit.
Yeah.
You can put now the battle cry on the board. You can do a battle cry and taunt on the board. Battle cry, the 2 death rattles you can put on board.
Yeah, but I think you still want to armor up in this at this stage. I think the infested Tauren at least means that your opponent has to use cards to clear it if he wants to push damage. And getting 4 health here is, I mean, if you're not getting 4 health, that means that the next attack sets you down to 5 health. And I'm
Starseeker.
okay.
That's a rough pick. The Twilight Summoner, of course, would have been a great choice, because if you play Excavate Evil, then at least you get a 5/5 on board.
Yeah.
But Eliza Starseeker is something that really brings you only in late game, I think, because right now he has a 3/5 body and nothing else.
But this is enough to clear the giant with bash. I think that's the idea behind it, to get a way to clear the bash, the giant.
Yeah, still 5 hit points. And maybe Yoxaron next turn could do something. He didn't play that many spells, I think, but still, and 3 health.
That's interesting. By using that in to face, he loses his Arcane Giant 100% of the time, just from the board. And his hand is not that great.
No.
So, by using the hero ability on Elise, you would have had a better chance of saving the Arcane Giant.
Yeah.
And there's another Shadow Form. This is really nice for him.
That's some more damage, but right now it does not mean much. You can
Yeah,
play
but
Yoxaron, but that's...
The thing is, you can use your hero ability twice this way. You can use it
okay.
once, use Shadow Form, and then use it another time for
I didn't
phase.
know that it resets for that, yeah. Okay, that's cool.
And now we have the best, one of the better hero abilities in the game for the Priest. But
3 damage for 2, that's nice.
Yeah.
But of course we have 4 armor for Harlequin, so the hero ability will not win this for him.
yeah,
And there's Karen. We have Geddon, we have Nzoth. And this Shadow Word Pain is nothing you want. Oh, Yoxaron, let's see. And we have a Brawl, that's a nice start. Will we get the Yoxaron out of it? That was no, he kills himself. Only can left, and he of course that's the best turnout that's possibly can happen for Harlequin.
Yeah, definitely.
It's absolutely amazing. He has now a free hand to get back into this match.
FerbIII doesn't look happy about that one.
Yeah, no, I understand why. He just lost a whole turn. Harlequin now gets 4 hit points from the last turn, so he is now back at basically at 15 hit points. This maybe could have lost him the game.
Yeah.
He would have been in a better place if he just played his brawl against 2 minions. Because he wouldn't have lost the whole turn.
Yeah, and I mean the problem is you can't really heal against what the damage you get, but this way he get 4 more damage, and otherwise he could have just tried to kill them slowly with his hero ability.
Yeah, and Harlequin knows in what place he is because he played them off, so he just said, I will pressure you even though I just got 2 death rattles on board.
Yeah,
and there's the brawl, of course, which he didn't know that FerbIII had. So let's see what this brawl can do for FerbIII.
Another pretty good outcome for Harlequin here.
Yeah, but of course there were not many bad outcomes for Harlequin because he had Karen, he had other minions that would just spawn a new minion if they die. So that's a nice counter to a Brawl Priest.
Yeah.
That you would of course expect. Priest with Brawl is pretty common.
And another way of getting back into this game for him now with Thought Steal.
Fire War Axe and the Map of the Golden Monkey. If he now gets... What? What?
He just got the monkey.
What?
Okay.
What?
And he actually got...
And a Reno Jackson.
Yeah, I think he has the doubles in his deck, but it's
still
hilarious.
if he now does not have doubles in his deck.
Yeah. And he is dead. He is dead, but still, it was nice.
That was a really nice turn. Just...
Okay.
Just think about Harlequin's face if his opponent in that situation steals the card, gets the monkey, gets Reno Jackson, gets back to 30 hit points. That would just be too... I think Harlequin would just flip the table.
Yeah.
But now it's 2-1 for Harlequin, right? 2-0.
2-0, yes. 2-0 for Harlequin. Well, well done in the end by Harlequin, I have to say. That was well done by Harlequin.
Yeah, that was, but also, okay, no, it was not lucky, but it was maybe lucky by FerbIII most of the time.
Yeah, but...
of course, the brawls.
He was a little bit unlucky how long it took him. He ran out of cards, and his second Thought Steal did not show up for a long time. And I don't know how much card draw he has in his deck, but... yeah, sitting there with just a Brawl, just a Yoxeron was... yeah, rather unlucky, and then Yoxeron could have a way better outcome than what it had. So
yeah, that's right. The Yoxeron was really bad for FerbIII. I did forget that one. But nice. Was a cool match.
And now we see Mage versus Mage, Medivh battling with Jaina.
Oh, that's a fight that I would actually like to see in a Warcraft movie.
That's true.
That would be really awesome nice. CGI. It's just Medivh slamming spells and Jaina, I don't know, whining about the dead Ronnie or something. The things that she does. Oh, the Horde! Let's see. Where is his... Ah, there it is. Oh, that's okay. That's a really long... he has a Reno Jackson, right? Yeah,
yes,
okay.
It's a Reno Jackson list. And he has the Reno in hand, so that's really helpful for him.
And from Harlequin, we just see a normal...
Just normal tempo deck with curving out on Firelance Portal, 1 Flame Strike and 1 Ragnaros Firelord.
That's actually the only deck I play currently in Hearthstone. I'm a pro at this.
Okay.
Misplay, no.
You will guide us all through this matchup then.
It can be really snowbally, but I don't think he has a combo for the runner on hand. Because if you just have the Apprentice and a Mana Worm and a Flame Walk or something, and your opponent does not have the opportunity to clear it, you're in a good place. But FerbIII has a great hand to deal with all this. He has Vermon of his own. He has a Flamewalker of his own. He has the coin, which is always great to be. Yeah, that is. And coin and most likely, and the AK Mesa is behind that. So you already get 2, 5, 7 damage out of this.
Yeah.
But let's see, all face. All face. Oh, 1 on the Flame Waker.
Yeah, 1/6 for the not the best result.
Yeah, and we now see spell damage, and then most likely the Mana Worm and Arcane Blast.
Yeah.
And now, if we look at that, Harlequin, if FerbIII does not get anything out of this, already can apply some pressure. No, he cannot clear much with that. Of course, he can get rid of the spell damage.
Yeah, or the Flame Waker.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that he has two there.
That's one of the interesting parts of this matchup, in my opinion, because you have the mage has this 4 really important early game minions: Mana Worm, spell damage, the Cold Sorceress with spell damage, Flame Waker, and the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And you always have to decide which one of these do you want to clear. If you have removal spells, do you clear the first one? Because the most dangerous one is the Flame Waker.
Yeah.
But sometimes your opponent does not have the Flame Waker, and you can't hold your removal for all the time if there's just the Cult Sorceress lying around, because the Cult Sorceress is dangerous as well.
Yeah.
So it's always really interesting to see which one of the minions are you going to clear, and which ones do you leave alive and hope for the best, basically.
Okay, there's the second Flame Waker. Not much to trigger it right now, but of course the Arcane Intellect in the next turn.
That's
Spellslinger.
really, really risky.
A Blizzard. And he gets an Ice Block.
Ice Block is really, really good for him.
For
because
Reno? Yeah.
Because he has Reno. But giving your opponent a spell with spell damage and Flame Waker on the board is really, really risky choice.
Yep. So, there's Arcane Intellect. And Arcane Missile with +1 spell damage.
Yeah.
+2 spell damage right now, because obviously we will play Thanos before this. And a Flame Waker. Let's see if the Spellslinger can survive this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, come on.
Besides going face today.
Never trust Juggles.
Never trust Juggles.
Never trust Juggles.
And now Harlequin is in a situation where he has to lose one minion or the other. Because if he attacks with a Flame Waker, it gets pinged next turn for sure.
Yep. He decides to drop the spell damage. I think that's a better choice, because also Flame Waker is harder to clear.
Yeah.
Because he has
And now you have to decide how long can you survive. Because if you put up the Ice Block now, then it will take quite a long time before you can play your Cabalist Tome, I think. So the other option would have been to play the Sorcerer's Apprentice and Cabalist Tome and hope that you survive another turn. And then you have the chance to Ice Block or just Reno Jackson there. But having more options to remove the Flame Waker, because now you still don't have an answer for the Flame Waker.
Yeah. That's absolutely right. He is thinking, he was thinking about how much pressure will he apply, but he just clears. Goes a safer way. A taunt. It's not the worst thing in the world. Not the best in his situation, but doesn't matter much. The Cabalist Tome. And another Cabalist Tome.
A really, really good outcome.
He already used his Ice Bolt, but I think he still has the Fireland Pot in his hand, right?
Sorry? The
Yeah,
Firelands bottle is from the Cabalist Tome.
Yeah, but he still has one in his hand? Also in his deck?
That's possible. Yeah, he has a Reno Mage. You definitely have a Firelands bottle and a Reno Mage.
Yeah.
I would be really surprised
So
if you
he
don't
needs
have
to
one.
use this before he can use his Reno, but I think, he
No,
has more than one
it's
turn.
because of the card is in hand. As long as you have
Okay,
only
it's-
one in your deck of everything.
It's only on the deck. Okay, then you're fine.
And Harlequin is going to break the Ice Block this turn, which means that you have to play Reno. You cannot wait another turn.
Yeah.
And it means that the Flame Waker will stay alive for another turn.
And he still has an Arcane Blast and a Blizzard on his hand, so the Flame Waker will be able to directly apply some damage.
Yeah. No, you can't use Blizzard in this situation, but you can at least clear the 2-1.
Bam. And another spell, Frostbolt in this case. It's nice.
And yeah, nice way to refill the hand for... Oh, that's also another good pickup. A lot of strong pickups here for Harlequin in this situation.
And let's see, what does the... Oh! The Juggets do what they should do. That's new.
Yeah,
Dip is a patch.
just a hotfix in between in
Quick
the
shot
middle of the
for
match.
Harlequin. Oh, who's the balance? There's no balance design in Hearthstone. I know his name of. Not like, oh, David Kim just tuned the game.
Yeah.
Only can do a StarCraft joke about that. Doesn't matter. So okay, what do you think? What is the chance of FerbIII? Because he's right now down already to 19 again. There's a Fireland Portal in the hand of Harlequin. The Cold Apothecary is not the best card, really not the best card in this situation, because it does not work much. There's still a Taunt on board, so it cannot do much. And there's another spell damage for Harlequin, which brings him in an even better place. And he goes face.
Yeah, let's see. He can bring him down to 5 health if he attacks face and plays Cold Sorceress plus Fireland's Portal.
To 5? That's 6 damage? 7 damage. Plus 3. Yeah, that's 5. 7 plus 3 is 10. Yeah.
And I don't know if there's any other healing in the deck of FerbIII, and that's...
I don't know. And we did not see a fireball in this match, right? Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, he decides to save the Cult Sorceress.
Why? I would just ask why.
I actually don't think that will matter that much.
Yeah, but still. Did he think about the incoming blizzard?
Probably not.
So it's not much.
And this clear doesn't... I don't know if I like clearing the Azure Drake there, because it takes away 5 damage, 4 damage from you could do to your opponent, and in the end you are in a race because you had 5 health.
And we see I can blast. This Naga, man.
Yeah, screwing up Harlequin at the moment.
A bit.
That's
Polymorph,
Spellbender?
Spellbender, yeah, and the Fireland Portal. But he cannot use much of this. Is he already dead?
No, he can use Spellbender plus... he can try that. That did not work out, but he could have used the Spellbender plus Medivh's Valet to kill the Naga Sea Witch.
Yeah, but now he just gets slapped.
Yeah. So there was a sure way to survive from the board state, not from the cards in hand, of course, but just from the board state. Yeah, now this is
What is Harlequin doing?
looking for some way to BM, I think.
Let's make magic.
Finding another way to finish the game.
That's our champion, Mac champion, vice champions, doing a BM on stream in the last moment.
Yep.
Just finish him off, man. Don't be rude. But he's going over already and shaking the hand, as we see on stream right now. And GG, Harlequin wins this 3-2.
Once again, 3-2-0.
And so he's our last person to join the final 14.
I'm not sure we had one other match going on, but that finished already.
I think so. We just this took really long.
I don't know what it was. I think it was this one. We can show it on stream.
Yeah. So let's just look on our
And we see
Tometry.
Lorion